On our immigration beat this morning, El Salvador has one of the world's highest homicide rates, according to the World Report of 2019. Since the Civil War in the 1980s, the country has consistently ranked among the top 3 across the globe for homicide rates and high rates of poverty. Today, violence persists across Central America, causing residents to question their safety every single day. But deep in El Salvador lives a town where locals share a special bond, claiming a unique protection around the city. Our own Em Nguyen traveled to Central America's most densely populated country of El Salvador, and she got a chance to experience a nearly 2-week-long festival that dates back decades. It's a tradition that is often a pillar of hope for many across that country. Em Nguyen reports from El Salvador to bring us the final part of this 3-part series, a Spectrum exclusive.
Music, dancing, cheery faces, not what you typically read about El Salvador. Here, just southeast of the heart of the country, breathes the small town of Apastepeque, known for its fiestas.
Porque son las fiestas patronales.
Because those are the parties of saints. It brings us joy, going out to the parties every day.
They're celebrating one of their most important festivals of the year, Santiago Apostol, or Saint James the Great, a saint believed to have been one of Jesus' first followers. Parades bounce down the streets every few hours for 10 days straight. They feel rich with culture, like this young girl, Mercedes Alexandra, who comes outside her home every single day to watch.
Right now it's much better because everyone is here.
Young Mercedes lives here. She doesn't have any running water, no AC in this 100-degree weather, but she says she doesn't have any complaints, that she just looks forward to the festival every year.
Nearly 50,000 Salvadoran children dropped out of school just last year from financial or geographical issues. Most families don't have much, but for many, like Mercedes, this festival is a chance to take a breather.
It's really nice because we go to the park, we stay for a little and play, and I also like what the people are selling.
Locals say this festival makes the town one of the safest in its own unique way. It's one of the only towns in El Salvador protected by the power of religion, where street gangs are hesitant to cause a problem from fear of retaliation from a higher being.
Brings hope, the most important festival taking place now, a month of great festivities here in Apastepeque.
The festival embodies what the rest of El Salvador strives for: camaraderie, community, and peace of mind. And just a fun fact for you, for that man who's holding that structure over his head, that's called a torito. And a lot of people were talking to me about it, very excited to tell me about it when I was there. Basically, he runs around with this bull-like structure that shoots out these sparklers. And it sounds pretty terrifying, and it kind of was, because I went actually and ran with it as well. But it also gives a very warm feeling that you're running with and having fun with the entire city. Back to you.
Oh, Em, it's so great to get another look at what life in El Salvador is actually like, other than just the headlines that we hear. But
Humanity.
3 days, 3-part series. What's your takeaway? Do you have a better understanding of why so many are leaving, the poverty, the violence there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just being able to be in El Salvador, to be in the country that we hear so much about, it was very eye-opening, absolutely. But something I want to mention is that this conversation is going to continue for the next few years, and it's going to be so big, especially in the next election series, election of 2020. Already Democratic presidential candidates and even California lawmakers have been talking about initiatives and proposals to fight the corruption, to fight these problems that we're seeing in, the Northern Triangle in El Salvador. And this includes reducing crime and violence. This includes fighting corruption in just the government. It includes fighting extortion fees, fighting these problems that we see keep happening over and over again. So definitely an interesting thing to look forward to see how these candidates and lawmakers will suggest legislation to fight the problem long term in the countries themselves.
But you know what, Em, stories like like yours, the series you did, are so important because it gives us a better understanding of who these people are. They're not people like statistics or, you know, just a defined group of people. You see that they're just
The humanity.
like us. Yeah. So
no doubt.
thank you. It's so important what you've done, and we really appreciate that report. Great job.
Thanks, Em.